Donc nous sommes de retour avec une présentation aujourd'hui de cet après-midi de Carlos CAMARA qui nous parle d'Espagne, dans le sud de l'Espagne. Lui, il doit avoir beaucoup de, beaucoup de chaleur et de soleil. Il va nous parler de l'API de Joomla. So Carlos, it's up to you.
Bonjour, merci beaucoup d'avoir assisté à cette présentation. Je m'appelle Carlos Cámara et je ne parle pas français. Cette présentation se fera donc en anglais, mais les textes seront en français.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry for all the. No, no. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. No, I mean, all the incorrections, misspells, typos is AI wise. So it's therefore, and all the right things is there merit. So, okay, let me share my screen and then we can start with.
Yep. Ça va pas durer longtemps.
Ok. La puissance de Joomla 5. Développer the services web book composant. Okay, a bit about me. I'm the author of the book Developing Extensions for Joomla 5. I'm completely obsessed with productivity. I read everything I can about productivity. I test any productivity tool that I can, which is a bit productive for productivity. And right now I'm the operations department coordinator in Joomla. I really love Christmas. I'm really hoping for Halloween because after the day after Halloween, I just start wearing my Christmas jumper suits and jumpers and that stuff. So I really love Christmas. And I have 3 kids, 2 dogs. I had 1 cat, then I got 2 cats. I have been this close to get a 3rd cat this week. And I also have a wife, which I love. I completely love. So, did this workshop in Joomla USA, the 2 parts, and in Joomla Spain, also the 2 parts. And in the first part, we create a component, a basic Joomla 5 component, but it's very well created with a whole architecture in Joomla 5, and that helps a lot for the second part. So in this second part, we are going to focus on just the web services, and you will have available the component, the stuff. We'll get into that in the next slide. Well, after checking that component, we are going to see a bit about web services, what they are, what we need them, how we can consume.
There's a lot of
Because you will see, you will notice that after you get the routing, which is the hardest part from my point of view, the logic for the web service is done. It's completely done. Then I guess if we have time, we'll play around with the web service and stuff. Okay. All the things we are going to see today are available at this URL. Let me make it clear. It's the website of the book, Developing Extensions for Joomla5.com /JDayFR2024. It's not the easiest URL to remember, but the thing is kind of intuitive. So there you can find all the links. This actually is this page, and you can find here all the links for it.
Si, c'est le réseau ici qui a coupé.
Here is my promise that all the texts are in French so that you can understand. Okay? Well, I mean, better, understand it better. It's more suitable. Here should download the presentation. This will not work yet, but it will work after the presentation. I will fix it. Here you can have the basic component that we are going to start with, and this is the final component. So unless you are a fan of spoilers, do not download it yet. But you can check the code or whatever right now. Yeah, I'm seeing the page. Here are the releases. This is the component, the basic component, and this is the finished component. Okay. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, this is a two parts. If you are curious or you want to know more about how this basic component is created, here you have the URLs for the Joomla DES and the Joomla Day USA. The videos for Joomla Day USA are available on their website. If you have a ticket, I think you can get a ticket now too, and you can watch the videos. The videos for Joomla Day Spain are not ready yet, but whenever they are ready, they will be on this page. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's not okay. So, any question?
No.
Well, okay, perfect. Yeah, well, during all the whole presentation, you will see this small reference here. That means where in the book is this? We speak about this. I follow the structure I did in the book for the presentation because I thought on the time it was okay, and I still think it's okay. I have some changes though, so if you read the book, it's not a problem. You will find something interesting. Okay, web services. Web services are a way to speak between machines. It's not, web services are not meant to be used by humans, but they are meant for machines. And for that, we do not have pretty stuff like HTML or JavaScript and that stuff. We have all the responses from a web service. Our code is a JSON a code or an XML code, something that a machine can read easily. That makes them a bit difficult to test in a browser, in a web browser. So we will use a different program, a different application to check the web service. And we have 4 verbs, mainly. There are a bit more, but probably these are the most interesting verbs for a web application. What is post, that is meant to create new content, get, to retrieve the content, patch, to edit content, and delete, to remove content. And another interesting thing about web services is that they do not have user sessions. So you need to authenticate yourself anytime you do a request. It's not like in Joomla where you create your password and your username, you log in into the system, and then you are logging for 15, 60 minutes. No, web services, you need to authenticate, you need to send your credentials anytime. Okay? So to use web services in Joomla or to consume web services, there are several options. In the book, for instance, I wrote some PHP scripts, and that basically they are a wrapper for CRL, because that is what we do with web services. Anyway, I wrote some PHP scripts because we were like in PHP, so why not keep using that, and that make it easier for the reader to follow up the structure. But there are other more popular options like Postman. There are some, if you use an IDE, you like Visual Code or Cursor or whatever, Eclipse, whatever. There are some plugins for that. My preference when consuming web services is this app. It's called Hopscotch. It's here. And it's basically it's very similar to Postman, but you can self-host it. I think it's open source, and also, well, it was called in the past Postwoman, but another company bought it and changed the name to this completely unpronounceable word. Okay. In any case, to use a web service in Joomla, we need to create an API token. Okay. So I have here a website, a just installed website. I have made a couple of changes, but like installing French and adding a passkey to my user. And yeah, let's try to retrieve the token for the web service. In Joomla, we have the most secure, I think the best way to get a web service is to have a user in the system, click on edit the user, and on these tabs, you have the, jeton Joomla, it's in French. I don't remember how you say that in English. It probably says token or API token or web service, I don't know. You know better than me, probably. Okay, and here is the token. When you just install Joomla, this will be void. This will be empty. Okay, you need to save the user credentials to get the API token. Okay, I have an API token because as I mentioned earlier, I added my passkeys, so that made automatically to have my API token. Okay. So you can copy this and use it whenever you want. We are going to keep it there. We'll see how we paste this later. If you want to, for instance, after this talk, this were a public site, I would need to change my token. Otherwise, you will know how to access my website and all the stuff. So if that happens, you just enable the rationaliser, and whenever you save, the token will change. Okay, I have not tested it in this time, but for sure, if you pay attention, you have noticed there are some changes in this long one. Okay, so let's install the basic component. I have it here, installation, extensions. Okay. Here it is the 100, the component, the base component. And whenever we install it, we will have here is our list, the sujet, our wishes list. It's a component to manage the list of wishes that we may have for Christmas. Okay, to ask Père Noël, I guess is how you call him. And now, well, this is when you have an empty list. You see this quote, which I have to say I have not found a valid. I found it in Wikiquote, in Spanish Wikiquote, but I didn't find it in for sure. So don't pay attention if it is from François de la Rochefoucauld. Anyway, we can create some wishes, but they have a list of them for testing. So let me here. Let me get them. It's there in the GitHub repo. There is a folder called mock data. Then we have here all our wishes. We can copy this and paste it in our MySQL. Remember that we need to change the prefix. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Now when we click again, we have all our wishes here. Okay. Okay, it's not a great, a very complex component. Here is the code of the website, and it's only the component only has the admin part, the backend. Okay. We have here the manifest. The component is called this way word because it's all I want for Christmas. Okay, that's the name of the component, and it's from Noel Enterprises. And yeah, we have here the namespace, is the description, I have not used translations for this just to make it simple, okay? But you know that if you want the component to be multilingual, you need to create language keys like this and have a different language file. But this is a simple case, there's nothing strange. Okay, and now in the controller we have in the controller part we have the display controller, which is compulsory for the new architecture, and here we have our controller for managing the wishes, okay, for adding wishes, removing the wishes, and other stuff. And we have two models, one for the item view and another one for a list view that gets the wishes from the database, okay. I have tried to translate anything possible, okay. So you see the name, the fields in the database, the columns in the database is also. So yeah, we have our views, we have our yeah, let me show you. If you click on niveau, okay, that I have a problem there, I need to check, and this is not going to work like that. Anyway, this worked at some point. And yeah, this is probably, yeah, this is the issue. Yeah. I misspelled the name of the table. And then, well, here we have the form, we have the title, the description, the day when it was created. This is a Joomla 5 issue with PHPH, which I think it's already solved. I'm not sure. I saw a pull request the other day. Okay, so this is our basic component, no more that. And let me go back to the presentation to see where we should go. Yeah, here you have the explanation on how to get the token. And yeah, let's start coding, okay? In Joomla, web services have two, or I like to see like to split them into parts. One is the logic for the web service, okay, where you say the web service, what it has to do. And the other part is the routing of the web service, where you tell Joomla when a URL asks for the web service where it should look into, okay? And we do that with a plugin of type web services, okay? So if we go to system plugins, we're going to find here in the type of plugins, the type of web services. And here, these plugins control the whole web services thing. I mean, this control the media, the images, and the stuff, the languages, the content. Everything is controlled through this plugin. It's not controlled. Sorry, it's routing. It's routed thanks to these plugins. Okay, so yeah, let's start creating our plugin and I will see. Okay, to start working on this, what we are going to do is to use the discover function of Joomla. That will allow us to be a bit faster in this process. This is discover function allows you to create the code directly into Joomla and then install it and filter it in the database. So we go to the web services folder. May I ask if you see the screen, or if you need, or do you need more zoom?
You can see it.
You can see it at the end of the room. You can see it.
That might be difficult.
Okay, no problem. I mean, I can do this. Then we can see it. Okay, that's better, I guess. Okay, perfect. So I'm starting with a new folder. All I want for Christmas. And in this new folder, we need to add our file, our XML file. So we start adding it, and we copy the content for the manifest. Okay, you have all this code again in the repo. So just go to GitHub and you will see it here. But basically, we have all this metadata. We have here the name of the plugin. We have here the group, the family of the plugin, which is web services. And what is interesting, or what I would remark, is the namespace that we are going to use in this extension. And also that we need to create the folder services, which will contain the plugin code and the SRC folder. So let's create those two folders. SRC, another one which is services. Well, one thing to mention is just with this file, we probably, and adding the folders, we probably will be able to install the plugin. I'm not sure because we probably need this file, but we probably will be able. Anyway, we will do it later. Okay, in the services, we need to create the provider PHP file. And the code is here. Again, this code is in the repo. And basically, this is a standard container for Joomla, dependency injection container call, where we inject the plugin. We say that the group of the plugin, we inject the name of the plugin. We use the extension, we create the plugin here, we instantiate the plugin class here. It's complex stuff, but this is just copy and paste from different projects and you're good to go. Yeah, after that, we need to add the extension folder and the A file, and our extension file. So, new folder, extension, and inside this folder, we will add our A born for Christmas file. It's a PHP file, and it's really, and this is the routing thing, basically. Here is the extension, and what we do here is we say to the plugin, hey, you're going to inject this before the API routing thing. This is an event inside Joomla. And we are going to do that using this convenient, we can remove this convenient method that we are passing, the router class, the create products. This method is awesome. It makes everything. In this method, you say to Joomla which is the root for your web service. You say which is the controller that is going to handle that in the API. And you say which is the component that is going to have this root. And Joomla adds the list view, the item view, the edit verb, instantiate the root class and the stuff. We can do it at the end if we have some time. Okay, so we have our plugins ready. I think there are no more steps. Yeah, so let's install it. We go to system, découvrir. Here we have our plugin. Okay. At this point, I think it's a good time to check if development. So let's do some errors. Let's break something. First of all, as I mentioned, we have this hopscotch. It's not uploaded yet, but we will have this hopscotch thing so that you can import it in your hopscotch and play with it. Okay, you can import and export things. My Joomla site is called it was maybe France. No. Okay, this is the URL of our site. If you want to test this in your place, you will need to check it. I have the URL as a variable, okay, and now it says correctly jdfr, the dev.site, okay, which is correct. Now I need to click on the three dots and check the properties, and in the authorization thing, I need to choose type of authorization bearer, and here is where I need to paste the API token I can get from my user. So let's go to modify my account, return Joomla, copy, we copy it here. Okay, with this I should be able to get the list of articles here. I have this testing call so that we can test, and this will get the list of articles, and this is with this dash API dash index.php v1 content articles. If I send this, I get a good reply, good response. Okay, total page is 0. I know it's a good response because if I ask for Joomla base, for instance, it says resource not found. So it makes sense. Okay, I have no articles here. As I have no articles, then I will see no articles. Okay, let me format this. If we go to content, articles, there is no content. If I create an article, if I now go to get the list of articles, I get the article. Okay, you can see it's a right response. Okay, good. So what happens if we try to get our list of wishes? Well, when I click it, I get nothing because the resource is not found. That is because our plugin is unpublished. So we can come back here and we publish the plugin. We enable the plugin, and now, hey, this is different. This is a 5.0. An issue. There is something that is not correct in your code, and that is right. That is okay. Make this because if we enable the debugging system, and maximum, and we go back to this web service call, we get a good error message. And what it says is, hey, there is no controller called suheight or whatever. There's an invalid controller class of height. This is the class that we are calling in our group root. And that makes sense because we have made nothing to make Joomla understand this routing. Okay, we have added no logic. All the logic for the API is added in the API folder. If you check your Joomla 4 or your Joomla 5 websites, you will notice there is a new folder called API, which includes lots of this stuff and also a components area with all the components that are here. Hey, but you have wait, there is nothing. It's empty. And we have here an empty component class. So this is the plan. This, check this. Okay, so we have no component, we have no logic inside this API folder for our component, and that's what we are going to do now. Okay, we are going to create that logic this browser. Okay. And that's what we do with the next slide. We create the projects controller file inside the API controller. So we have this. Wait, it's not. This is wrong. I need to fix it. And this was wrong in Spain too. We need to create the new folder called controllers. And in this folder, we need to create a new file called it's controller.php. Yeah, and we copy this code. Okay, now we have our it's controller, which the content type is it's, and the default view is this view it's. Okay, good. But not controller is getting all the information, but it's not displaying the data. In Joomla, we display the data with the views. So what we also need here is a view. This is wrong also. We need this to be in a src folder. This should be controller. Sorry, this is last time. Yeah. What we need now is to create our views. This is not controllers, this is controller, it's singular. And our view will be this. This is correct. Okay. We create the it's view. And inside it, our JSON API view PHP. And we copy what we have here. So, do you think it will work? Let's try it, right? I don't think it will work. Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work because when we install the component, we use it. Sorry. Here. We use it this manifest file in which we have an install, an administration part, but we have no mention to the API. Okay, so to make it work properly, we need to add the API stuff. And how we are going to do that? Well, we are going to we do that. I'm not sure if it is detailed here. No. We do that with find my code here. We do that adding these lines. Okay, you see, it's an API section where you say where your files for the API are located and what's the folder that needs to be installed. Our files are in the API folder. Inside it is the src folder, which has the controller, it's controller, and we have the view, it's JSON API view. Okay, so what we are going to do is, instead of installing or reinstalling under the start, which is a bit complex at this point, what we are going to do is we are going to install the final component, which I already have in GitHub. Okay, so we go to releases and we install this system extensions. That's it. Okay, and hopefully now it will work. And we get our list of I'm sorry, I cannot make this bigger. And we can have our list of wishes, okay? We can get only just one wish, just saying in the URL, indicating the ID of the wish, for instance, the wish number 5. It's here, okay? And we can even add a new wish with using hopscotch. We need to add the content in the body of the request. We need to use a post request, and we just attack the plural or the list view, the subheights view. And when we send it, oh, yeah, it should work. We get a new, we get the ID 32 is the new wish. If we go to our system, we can see the number 32 is the one I wrote in Spanish. So, gente interesada en el directorio, okay, in Spanish. And yeah, that was fast. I think that's all I have for you. Yeah, and also just I would like to recommend other books which helped me a lot when I was writing the book about Joomla 5 development. One is the book by Nicholas. It's completely free. It's on his blog, and you can check it on his personal blog on that URL. The other one is the book written by Astrid. This is, I need to fix this. It was published, but she unpublished it, but it's in the web archive. But I would recommend to buy it from Amazon. I have here also the link, and I bought it from Amazon actually. So it's a great. Actually, the ebook version was really cheap, and it's very instructional because it's a step by step of creating a component for Joomla 4. But it's very similar in Joomla 5. The architecture is more or less the same. And also, this is an amazing work by all the volunteers. They have migrated, or we are migrating, all the developers documentation into manual.joomla.org, and it's amazing. To be honest, I want you to check it. You have all you need to start. You have tutorials. You have plugins, you have API, you have anything you want. If you want to know more about plugin events, it's here. It's amazing. Accessibility, well, there are some things that need to be done yet, but it's very complete. It's amazing, and you can choose the version with 5.2, the guy's version, anything. It's an amazing work. So I really encourage you to check it beforehand, and also the other references I have here. And that's all. Merci beaucoup. And I am open if you want to ask any question. I'm happy to assist you on that. I'm going to stop presenting now. I'm going to move here, and now I can see. Yeah. Okay. Great.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you. Is there any question in the room? Everybody understood everything you said, and yeah, we have like the room is like not so many developers, but maybe I have there's a question. Ok, je peux traduire si tu veux.
Est-ce qu'il fait des promos pour son bouquin?
Et vous avez que les promos dans la tête ici, c'est pas possible. So I had a serious question, and there is another question. The other question is, do you have any discounts going on for your book?
I would love to, but I don't. So I mean, it's not on my.
It's my friend, c'est mon ami. Donc Non, il n'a pas de discount, bien sûr. So I have another type of questions, and that would be so this is an API to extract data from a website. So do you have examples of practical examples of when and where this can be used, or do you have used this for real world projects? Et la question que j'ai posée, c'est, hang on, just for a second. Et la question que j'ai posée, c'était, donc ça, c'est, il nous a montré comment on écrivait une extension de Joomla qui permet d'utiliser l'API de Joomla ou d'augmenter l'API de Joomla pour extraire des données depuis une autre machine. Il a créé cette liste de souhaits de Noël et un autre ordinateur, maintenant, on peut se connecter pour obtenir la liste des informations ou les informations qui sont sur le site. Et je lui demande, est-ce qu'il a des exemples pratiques à quoi ça peut servir dans un monde plus pratique où on ne fait pas que des listes de vœux pour Noël. So, tell me.
Yeah, I actually use this like in Joomla 4, like when they released Joomla 4,
Yep.
I was just using it because I had a project in which we needed to, it was for a city council, and they had a writing contest every year for schools and colleges around their place. And they needed to a web application where the participants, the children, could upload their works, their text, their writing text, their novels, their poems, whatever. And they wanted to have to manage the whole process of the contest in this web application. But whenever they set the winners, they wanted the winners to be on the city council webpage. Okay, so what they did was a web application in Joomla 4. Now it is in Joomla 5 actually, because we migrated it, and with a web service. And I developed an easy module for Joomla 3 for the city council website that was in Joomla 3. And I think now it's in Joomla 4 actually, because we also migrated that. And I developed this module to just get the information from the API, from the web service. So all the content was managed, and all the contest was managed in the writing contest website, but the information is displayed in the city council website using this small, well, it was not a model, it was a small component. Using this small component, and it was really easy to make it, because whenever I started developing the API, the web service, I noticed that you have nothing to do. It's extremely easy. Once you have a well-defined component in Joomla 4 and you are using Joomla 4 MVC and Joomla 4 basic models and other stuff, everything is done by Joomla. You have to code nothing. So it's really easy for that. Also, I am now involved in a project in which we are adding, my client is adding technical data, economics data to its website, and they want to be able to allow some providers to consume that data with an API. And web service is going to be the goal here, because we have the security. Well, I have not mentioned it, but the JSON tokens that we create in Joomla are extremely secure. On the one hand, they are not stored in the database. You cannot find that JSON token in the database. What we store, or what it is stored in Joomla, is the way to create or to check the JSON token. So it is not stored in the database, and only the user who creates the JSON token can see it, or the user who owns the JSON token can see it. If I create a user in Joomla and I try to use my account to check that user JSON token, I can't. It's not allowed. So our implementation of JSON token is really secure, and it allows that communication between different sites really easily.
Ok. Il y a besoin de traduction ou c'est ok? Je vais la faire plus. I'm going to give a summary of that in French,
Yeah.
just for a
Oh,
second.
sorry.
So
You have to sound.
no, it's okay, it's no problem. So because it's going to be a summary. Donc là, il nous a donné deux exemples d'utilisation pratique que lui a faire. C'est un développeur, donc il fait des projets pour des clients. Le premier, c'était un concours d'écriture qui a été lancé par une mairie d'une ville, et donc il n'a pas précisé. Et donc ils ont fait un site pour recueillir des candidatures et les propositions ou les candidats, oui, les propositions d'écrits d'articles ou d'écrits qui étaient proposés au concours. C'était sur un site, Joomla 4, je crois, à l'époque, il a dit que c'était fait. Voilà. Et donc, toutes les données, les informations, les candidatures, les noms, tout ça a été fait sur un site propre au concours. Mais la mairie a voulu que toutes les informations sur le résultat soient sur le site de la mairie, qui en plus était un Joomla 3. Et donc, il a écrit en utilisant ces techniques, il a écrit pour le composant pour le site de la mairie en Joomla 3, un petit composant qui utilisait l'API du site Joomla 4, c'est-à-dire exactement ce qu'on a vu là pour récupérer les souhaits de Noël. Bon, ben la même chose pour récupérer la liste des gagnants du concours d'écriture. Donc tout le concours était sur un site, mais tous les résultats ont été affichés sur l'autre site, celui de la mairie de l'organisateur. Et le deuxième exemple qu'il a donné, c'était pour un client, c'est en train de se faire, c'est un client qui a un site dans lequel il rajoute des grandes quantités de données financières, données économiques et financières, je ne sais pas sur quel sujet, enfin sur un sujet particulier. Et ces gens-là veulent que euh, d'autres opérateurs puissent extraire et utiliser ces données dans leurs propres applications ou dans leurs propres utilisations, et donc au moyen de l'API, exactement de cette même manière-ci, puisque après tout fonctionne de la même manière. Vous avez des données dans le Joomla, au moyen d'un composant ou autre, et vous écrivez l'API, et d'autres systèmes peuvent venir les récupérer. Et il a fait un aparté sur le fait que c'était extrêmement intéressant pour ces gens qui avaient ces données financières probablement d'une grande valeur, parce que pour accéder à l'API, il fallait le fameux token super long là, qu'on a vu tout à l'heure, et qui est extrêmement sécurisé parce qu'il n'est jamais enregistré, d'abord parce qu'il est super long, super compliqué, unique, et qu'il n'est pas stocké dans la base de données. C'est un peu comme les mots de passe, enfin l'inverse du mot de passe, c'est-à-dire que ce qui est stocké dans la base de données du site, c'est la manière de calculer ce token, mais le token lui-même est jamais stocké. Voilà. I think that's a fair summary of what you said.
Okay, I didn't
Yeah,
understand it, but interesting.
you'll have to.
Also, I would like to mention that the user getting the token, and when you use that token on the web service API, you have the same permissions as the user. When using the token of a user, you have the same permissions of the user. So if you use a super user token, you get super user access to the API. If you use a registered user token, you can only do what the registered user can do, but with the web service.
Ok. Il y a d'autres questions pour Carlos? No, we're good. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Carlos. Bye. We are going to end the streaming.
Okay.
Bye. Thank you. Et on n'est plus en direct. Non, le direct.